Hey everybody, welcome back to the Highland Fox. Today we're down to the Elite 8 of the greatest drivers of all time in F1. Not a lot of upsets in this, but that kind of makes a lot of sense because you have, some of the guys that snuck one in like Kiki, and then you have, the Lewises and Schumachers that just dominated for decades. So it kind of makes sense they'd weed themselves out. The list we have left, we have Lewis, Niki Lauda, Alain Prost, Sebastian Vettel, Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna, Juan Manuel Fangio, and Alberto Ascari. So, just looking at those names, I think you'd be happy with any of those.
Yeah, and I feel like those are very recognizable names, even if you're not really into F1, or even before I got into F1, I knew who a few of those people were.
Yeah.
So not a big shocker, but, it stands the test of time for some of these guys. So
yeah, which makes sense. So let's get right into it. So the first matchup for today is number 1, Lewis Hamilton versus number 8, Niki Lauda.
So I'm going to go with Lewis on this. He's just an amazing driver. It's kind of crazy because he looked up to Niki Lauda for so long, and Lauda helped
build
Mercedes. So I think it's a testament to Niki's name also, and his talent and skill that Hamilton learned so much from him and was able to, keep it going.
Yeah, Niki brought Lewis from McLaren to Mercedes. So it's almost, it's one of those student surpasses the master kind of things.
It's kind of like in Cars with Lightning McQueen and Doc Hudson.
No, that's Schumacher and Vettel, and then Vettel and then baby Schumacher.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it is like that because you got to think Niki was a lot of Sebastian, a lot of Lewis's success you can attribute to Niki. So it's kind of funny that they would match up like this. And again, I think if you want to make an argument for either one, I think it'd be fine. But I think at the end of the day, Lewis gets the nod.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, moving on. So the next one, my phone just did the screen thing. The next one, this is a tough one. I think we've fought about this one for weeks.
Yeah.
So it's number 4, Alain Prost versus number 5, Sebastian Vettel. Seating alone should tell you how close this should be.
Yeah. And I think every day I was like, no, this one. Back and forth.
I think we eventually settled on Prost, though. We took our emotions out of it, a little bit of the recency bias with Vettel's dominance in Red Bull. Obviously, his time at Ferrari hurt him, just like his time at Aston. Prost also didn't do well at Ferrari, but Prost went against Senna all the time. They both have 4. They both have over 100 podiums, which is only a few guys have.
Yeah.
It's a fine line that separates
yeah.
them.
So I think the fact that we were going back and forth is honestly, anyone could make a suggestion, be well, I'd be like, yeah, you're totally right. So yeah. But I think at the end of the day, Prost.
I think Prost went against Senna, who arguably is one of the greatest, right? And beat him. And Vettel went against Lewis and never really beat him.
Yeah.
Once Lewis got out of McLaren, Vettel was not there. But it's razor thin. I think what did it for me was Prost has a longer streak of wins.
Yeah. Yes. That was, I think, the final okay.
Yeah. So splitting hairs there. I know there's going to be some people down in the comments that are upset about Vettel getting knocked out, but I think it's got to be Prost.
Got to go with Prost.
All right. So, next one. Michael Schumacher versus Ayrton Senna.
And then Ayrton Senna is 7th?
7. Okay. 2 versus 7.
All right.
I would pay money to watch these two go at it.
Yeah. They did.
Yeah, they did.
So, yeah.
This one's almost a shame that it's not further. This is just the seeding not working out.
Yeah.
That they happen to meet in the Elite 8 and not in the championship or the Final 4.
Yeah, because they're both just forces of nature. They're both just brought something to the sport in an art form.
Right.
And just true hard work, dedication, and talent and beauty. So this this one was, I think, tough for me because I both respect them both so much.
They both have documentaries about them. They both have movies about them. These guys, this is another one that you knew of Senna before you knew F1.
Yeah.
And obviously you knew of Schumacher because everyone knows of Schumacher. But again, this is just almost a bracket mismatch that just happened to be this early.
Yeah.
This should have been a later one. But we have the match we have in the Elite 8.
Yeah.
Who makes it through?
So I did pick Schumacher. I unfortunately Senna's career was cut short, so we don't have the full story of what could have been.
Yep.
But I ultimately chose Michael.
Yeah, and I agree. Again, you give Senna another decade in F1. Does he surpass Lewis and Michael and Fangio and all those guys? Prost even, you know? But we have to use with the data we have. Mm-hmm. Senna was a force. If you put Senna in your top three, I'm not just going to agree with you. Mm-hmm. But I think Schumacher moves on in this matchup. Mm-hmm. All right, so last one of the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
These are the guys cutting down.
Oldies but goodies.
Cutting down nets. This was actually awesome that it worked out this way. So like we had the Senna Schumacher working out and didn't really work out, and then we had the Nicky and Lewis where they kind of knew each other, and then this is another one that worked out just beautifully. The way the bracket worked out was Juan Manuel Fangio versus Alberto Ascari. They actually raced.
Yeah.
This was decided on the track.
Yep.
And this was 3 versus 11.
Mm-hmm.
So this was decided on track.
Yeah, and ultimately Fangio moves on.
Yeah.
He's the godfather of F1.
Oh, 100%.
So,
5 world titles. He had the record of the most world titles until Schumacher beat it with 6.
Yeah.
Like, that's insanity. Mm-hmm. That's what, 50, 60 years or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been 50 years because 1950 to 2000.
Yeah.
That's craziness. So
he's...
Yeah. I mean, he's the OG, as they say, the original.
So I think, like, Ascari has so much respect, obviously, for him.
Right.
And it's cool to match those two up because in real life they were. But ultimately going with Fangio.
Yeah. All right. So that's the Elite Eight. That leaves us with juicy Final Four matchups. Ooh. That'll be the next video when the real Final Four is happening as well. So we have Lewis Hamilton versus Alan Prost.
Okay.
And Michael Schumacher versus Fangio.
Oh.
I would pay to see any of those matchups.
Okay.
Good?
I'm thinking.
Yeah. All right.
Let's do it.
Join us next time for the Final Four. You don't want to miss it. Thanks.